They called him the weakest hunter known to mankind, a joke, a disappointment. And yet, behind those taunts and laughter was a fire no one could see. Adults, supposed to be wise and mature, acted like children, mocking what they didn't understand. But he knew, deep down, he knew he had to work harder than anyone else, because proving them wrong wasn't just a dream, it was a mission. "I'll show them," he whispered. "I'm not done yet." The dream? To become the Wizard King. But the world laughed. "You must be joking," they said. The truth was harsh. Chains that could sense magical power showed he had none, not a single drop. In a world built on magic, he was born with nothing. No strength, no support, just a nickname that reminded him of his worthlessness. Everyone doubted him. He doubted himself. But one thing kept him going. He never knew when to give up. Why fight a battle you can't win? Why go against destiny? Because being labeled a failure wasn't his ending. It was his reason to rise. His clones were weak. His jutsu attempts were laughable. But he didn't care. Destiny wasn't written in stone. It was forged by fire. "Don't tell me I can't change," he snapped. "Because if I'm a failure, then what does that make you? No grimoire, no magic." In this world, that made him a rarity. A cursed bird with clipped wings. He once gave up. He remembered that moment clearly. But giving up, that was worse than losing. He remembered what pride meant, what legacy meant. If he carried the blood of warriors in his veins, if he claimed to be someone's son, then he had no right to fall behind. He would become the best. No compromises. Tears were common. So was running away. Every time he tried to hold himself together, he collapsed. He hated himself more than anyone else could. But beneath the pain, there was a hunger to change, to become capable. Like a sword being forged, he would strike the hammer against his soul, over and over, shedding weakness, sharpening strength. He would master just one thing, perfect it beyond imagination. It's okay to cry. It's okay to step aside for a moment. Just never give up. That voice in his mind wouldn't stop repeating it. "You trained through hell. That wasn't for nothing. You'll be rewarded." A blade tempered by trials becomes unbreakable. So he focused on what he did best, on pushing forward, even when it hurt, especially when it hurt. This world was cruel, ruthless. It devoured the weak and chewed up the broken. And somewhere along the way, he forgot that. He grew careless, arrogant, delusional. But now he remembered, in this world, the weak always lose. And he refused to stay weak. He wasn't born a hero, and maybe he'd never become one. But limits? Who decides those? No one but himself. He'd push past them, even if it meant becoming something darker, even if it meant facing a mountain of pain. He had no choice. If he couldn't overcome this, then he'd never reach that throne, the title of Wizard King. And so, right there, right then, he screamed it. "I will push past my limits." He had given up once, but never again. That part of him was dead now. He would prove it. To them, to himself, to the world. That being poor, a commoner, an orphan, none of it mattered. What mattered was heart, and his magic. His greatest power was never giving up. Even if his enemies were stronger, even if his body failed him, he wouldn't lose. Kindness hadn't saved him before. What he needed now was strength. Real strength. He would keep pushing until he got it, even if it killed him, even if he had to destroy and rebuild himself again and again. You can knock on hearts forever, but people don't change unless they choose to. So, he decided, I will change. If the world isn't going to follow my lead, then I'll become the light it needs. He had been deceived. He had failed those he loved. He'd lost his beliefs, his hope. But he couldn't stop now, not after coming this far. Don't you dare give up again, he told himself. He'd run from everything, locked his soul in darkness because it was easier. But he had the strength to do everything else. So he had the strength to face himself too, chosen or not, forgiven or not. He would stand his ground. There was a time he would have walked away, but when he saw the true power before him, something changed. He wanted to fight it, crush it, break the world that broke him. He had twisted himself inside out trying to find meaning in a broken life. But in that moment, he finally saw. He had lost because he abandoned his pride. But pride wasn't gone forever. It could still be reclaimed, because being a man wasn't just about winning. It was about losing, suffering, and rising again. There was no shame in falling, no shame in tears, only in giving up. And he refused to give up.